What up, Long Beach? Welcome back to GazetteSports.com. It's JJ
and Mike.
And this is by far our favorite day of the year, National Letter of Intent Day, as Long Beach's finest is headed for higher education.
Starting off on Zimino at Woodrow Wilson High School, home of one of the most consistent programs in the Moore League, that Bruins girls soccer team sending 5 girls to 5 very fortunate universities, as head coach Jason Kirkwood was happy to tell us.
I mean, it's always a very proud day. I mean, I've had these kids since they were freshmen. I've seen them all grow and improve a tremendous amount. And, you know, obviously I'm not the only factor in that. I mean, they all play on very high-level club teams, but I do like to feel that I had a small part in helping them accomplish that. And I'm just really proud of the hard work that they've put in, and they've gotten the rewards for that.
These girls were there when this team won a championship in 2008, as Kim Albino going to Lamar, Mallory Oates going to Hawaii Hilo,
Raquel Ramos going to Dominican, and Kim Marshall to Wake Forest, and Renee Mendiola is staying local at Long Beach State, proving that familiarity can be a huge recruiting tool.
Playing with girls that I grew up with is really big to me because it shows how much we've grown together and that we still have that connection. And I definitely think Mauricio and Jeff have seen that girls that grew up together and know each other and know how each other plays, it works.
Speaking of doing work, they're doing work over at Lakewood High School. That should say today's Lancers, tomorrow's NC2A football stars.
Yeah, they had a record 9 players sign with football programs in the NCAA. That's never happened to this school. They've been playing some pretty good football here the last couple years, JJ.
Great crowd on hand. Those signs take a lot of ink, man. That's a hard-working printer over there at Lakewood right now. All these boys dressed to the nines, sweater vests, and Air Force from head to toe. Love the kicks. But we got a crazy story here with Torian White.
Yeah, a little bit of drama. Committed to UCLA a while back, then said on TV he was going to USC, is Max finding that out right now. Then decided, hey, I'm going to stick with UCLA. Nice problem to have, I guess.
A bit of a circus, this whole recruiting thing, but that circus leader is definitely Thad McNeil, because he's done a great job with this program.
He's done a lot to put the program on the map, and obviously these 9 guys are a recipient of that. Torian White, as we mentioned, going to UCLA. Jake Phillips and Dupree Jordan Roberts both going to UNLV, and Kelly Harpham out at Air Force.
Yeah, Raheem Cassell going to the Oregon. Rashad Wadood going to ASU. Theo Sheridan going to Concordia. Like we said, Todd Barr going to Cal. And then Josh Kyles going to Columbia as they ink their scholarships/contracts.
They are contracts. I mean, they're big money contracts too. You say these kids don't get paid, but when you look at a guy that's going to, I don't know, for example, Columbia, that's a lot of money that his family and he are getting, you know, for his education.
Yeah, Dupree Jordan Roberts is a great story, and one you don't hear very often. Didn't really do a lot as a junior, worked hard his offseason, and then comes back as a senior, and it all pays off.
And of course, the Harpham family, it helps when, you know, your position coach is living in the room next door to you. Kelly Harpham's been the recipient of a lot of stuff, and that Harpham family has done a lot for that Lakewood program. Raheem Cassell spreading it around the Pac-10, and of course, Wadood abides.
Oh, indeed. I love that Sheridan's rocking the jersey. I want to see more kids like that.
You know, late decision for some, but it was a pretty easy pick for others.
Since the beginning, when I first met the coaching staff from Cal, I felt real comfortable with them. And I just always had a sort of connection with Coach Gould and Coach Taj and even Coach Tefford. My official, I see how how college life would be and how it would be with just everybody just hanging out, kicking it. And I felt like I could really call that my home for the next 4 years and play football there.
Friends, teammates, enjoying this moment, but they were doing the same thing over on the Ave.
Yeah, we saved the biggest for last at the home of Scholars and Champions. Biggest of all time, actually. In Paulie's illustrious history, they've never had this many. 27 athletes signed, including, obviously, they're having a great year in basketball. Alexis Moore going to USC.
You know, SC was probably the first major school that showed a lot of interest in me. And so I felt a lot of loyalty to the coaching staff and the players and you know, everything there. And I knew that, you know, once Coach Kevin O'Neill made the offer, that's where I was destined to go. Great education, great environment for me to play, and just, you know, the social experience of college that I really wanted to look forward to. So, you know, I'm ecstatic with my decision, and, you know, I'm ready to be there.
We mentioned consistency when talking about that Wilson girls soccer program. Obviously, you can say the same thing about Pauley football. Not the best season that the team's ever had, but still get 6 guys full scholarship opportunities to go and get their degrees. Really a remarkable accomplishment for those position coaches and, of course, Raul Lara, the head coach.
Everyone up front here needs to stand up, give a round of applause for their parents, coaches, families, and friends who've been supporting them throughout their whole 3.5 years at college. Thank you.
Deep breath, we're going to get through this together. Baseball, Thomas Walker to Oregon, teammate Tyler Maxwell to Stanford. Volleyball team, Bria Rush to USC, Latara Kyle to LMU, Sai Yosia to Maryland Eastern Shore, Elisa Mesa to Sacred Heart, Ali Moskaitis to Villanova, and Felicia Clement to the Air Force.
Girls basketball, Sheila Boykin to UCLA, Araya Crook-Williams to USC, Ashley Johnson to Texas A&M Commerce. Boys basketball, Ryan Anderson to Boston College, and Alexis Moore to USC.
Those football players, Corey Waller to UW, Cameron Jackson, a little surprise going to Cal, Dabnus Atkins to Air Force, Josh Fasavalo to San Jose State, James Nelson to Montana State, and Ernest Petway to Villanova.
Girls soccer, Alexis Leyba to University of New Mexico, and Shea Davis to Biola.
From the runners, Dynasty Gamage to Cal, Rebecca Aragu to Stanford, Malia Cox to USC, along with Miles Andrews.
Boys volleyball, John LaRouche staying in Long Beach, going to State, and boys water polo, Brian Mahika going to Fordham.
It's worth pointing out that they've got another 7 or 8 kids who are undecided, including like state champions like Akoko and Dippigbor. This is a phenomenal and historic class at a school that's seen a lot of them. Papa Don Norford, who's seen a lot of these classes, said this year is an absolute blessing, which is why Athletic Director Rob Schock doesn't find it a hassle to have to blow up all those balloons.
I wouldn't consider it a hassle because to me that's what it's about. To recognize the kids who have worked so hard for 3.5 years for this, this moment, and the investment they made into their academics and their athletics. This is the reward, and as you saw, the parents, the family, the great thing was the teammates that were here, the cheering their friends on, and there's never a hassle. It's always, it's a great thing to do and something I look forward to do every year.
So do we, Rob. So do we.
We'll be right back here in spring for the all-sports signing. These classes are going to get even bigger. And if you want to see these kids put the pens down and actually, play sports, keep it right here at GazetteSports.com.